Welcome to You Asked For It, a podcast of Southgate featuring Pastor Joel and Braden, the student minister, answering your biblical and theological questions.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Glad to have y'all here. As we've been doing these last couple of weeks, we have been going through our Advent themes that we've been working through here at Southgate. We've gone through hope, we've gone through love and joy, and then today, Braden, we are recapping what we talked about on Sunday, which was peace. So, do you feel peaceful today?
It's been when you only work one office day out of the week. It is hard to feel peaceful on that one day.
There's a lot of storms, right? in one office day.
Yeah, it's like, what could go wrong today? Hit the check mark.
Just all of the above.
All of the above.
Man, it's been a day. It's been a productive day though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, what a day! What a day! Man, we're glad to have y'all with us again. We've got our video with these podcasts now, and again today we're just recapping Sunday. We hit on peace, and so thinking about peace, we talked about Sunday morning Isaiah 7, this prophecy that God gave through the prophet Isaiah 700 years before the birth of Jesus, about how there'd be a sign, and that sign would be a son who would be born of a virgin, and he'd be called Emmanuel. And as we think about where we're at in the month of December, this is especially timely because this episode is going to be coming out on Wednesday, which is actually the day of our Christmas Eve service. And so whenever you listen to this, you might be getting ready for Christmas, or maybe you're watching it afterwards and, Christmas has already passed. But we're right at this time where we're celebrating the arrival, the advent of Jesus, who is called Emmanuel, which literally means God with us. So, Braden, how did you go about, talking about peace with our students?
Yeah, so we've been doing whiteboard questions recently. So every Sunday we start off, and I just had on the whiteboard, peace equals, and then, had to fill in the blank. And so, students going through and talk about what peace equals, and just the things that we say bring us peace, but then the second we lose control of them, it's like like that causes like peace just to go out the window. And so just kind of getting to that point of like oftentimes peace the world would say is control, but we need to know that peace is when, hey, it's like we lean not on our own understanding, but we trust that God is in control.
Amen.
And so just getting to that point with the students, just knowing that, shalom in the Hebrew, just that wholeness, that, that state of being, it's not about the comfortable life. It's about, wholeness, harmony, completeness with God.
Yeah. I think that's a helpful way to look at it. Like you said, so often we vie for control in our lives. And if things are under control, we feel peaceful, full of peace. But the minute that things spiral, it's like our peace evaporates and goes out the window. And if that's our standard, which I think a lot of people, it is their standard, it's no shock why people don't have peace right now.
Oh, for sure.
Like it just makes sense because so many things we know are outside of our control. Think about, I just got back from doing a visit. Campbell today was absolutely terrible. Traffic was awful. And just even whenever you drive somewhere, to the grocery store, to pick your kid up from school, when you drive to church, whatever it is, like there are thousands of variables that are out of your control.
Yeah.
Is this car going to speed up? Are they going to stay in their lane? Are they going to go, right or left? Like all these things that are out of your control.
Yeah.
And if your standard is everything has to be under control, it's no wonder why we're angrier and crankier and less peaceful than ever before.
Yeah, no, like all the time in high school, my mom would be like, like be careful out there on the roads. And I'm like, I'm going to be careful. And it's like, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about the other people. And it's like, and just like, that state of like, you want to be in control, but there's just so many times that you're not. And again, if that ruins your mood, or it's like, no wonder peace is just thrown out the window a lot of times.
And I really do think that that's a problem that people face in our world. And maybe, you're watching this and you're struggling with peace right now, and that is why you're struggling with peace. Maybe there's something going on in your life. Braden, I can think of examples in my life, not just driving, but, my kids were sick last week. And we did not have a lot of peace at the house because when your kids are sick, you don't sleep. And then when your kids get sick, typically you get sick. And so, on Sunday, I had no voice.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if I'm vying for peace and my version of peace is no problems or me being in control, I'm not going to have it.
Yeah.
So then it leads to a second question, which I think essentially is this, of either I will never be at peace, my definition, or my definition is wrong. And if my definition is wrong, then I need to get the right definition. And so how did you unpack, you talked about wholeness. You talked about completeness. Where do we understand that in Scripture?
I mean, it was actually our Advent reading as well. But you look at John 14, Jesus says, like, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give as the world gives.
Yeah.
And so you start to, no wonder Scripture calls him the Prince of Peace. And so just getting into these, descriptors of God that we see, and seeing that when we see peace in the Bible, we see suffering.
Yeah.
Like those two, we talked about some last week, but everyone wants peace. And when they, talk about peace, they want, world peace, all the, global unrest, personal struggles, all of these things that are going on. But it's again, you have to be able to look at Paul and Paul's like, hey, nothing's going to steal my peace. Yeah. And they're like, well, great, we'll kill you. And he was like, well, good.
I'll be with Jesus.
To die is gain.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we'll keep you alive. He's like, well, to live is Christ.
Yeah.
It's like,
you're invincible at that point.
To live is Christ, to die is gain.
Yeah.
And so when you look at that, and you're again, who was going to steal Paul's peace? Nobody.
Yeah.
And it's just, did he go through suffering? I mean, absolutely. The dude was almost stoned to death.
Yeah.
And then got back up and started preaching the gospel again. And then, was in jail and was like, hey, this is the best thing ever. I've got this soldier's going to hate me because I'm going to share the gospel with them day after day. Yeah. And so just, the peace that Jesus brings is just way more than the temporary peace we can create ourselves.
So good. And I think that's why it says it surpasses all understanding. In other words, if you don't know Jesus, there's something weird about you. You know what I mean? This world can't grasp the peace that Jesus provides. And as a born-again, blood-bought believer, that should inspire you. Because you have this peace, you want others to experience it as well. And really, that's what we got into in Matthew chapter 1. We know the message of Jesus. We know the gospel. But his mission is explicitly stated in Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. You're to name him Jesus. And the angel literally says, why? Because he will save his people from their sins. It's literally why he came. And so I think remembering, this is so helpful when it comes to remembering and maintaining peace. Remember, what is your biggest problem in life? If I think that someone who's driving incorrectly is my biggest problem in life, I'm going to have a miserable life. It's just going to be terrible and bad. But if I remember that my biggest problem in life is my sin before a holy God, and if I remember what Jesus did in order to bring about the salvation of my soul, that's already signed, sealed, and settled in the courtroom of heaven, then suddenly I have a lot of peace with secondary and tertiary issues because my primary problem is a past problem that's been dealt with. So remembering what Jesus came to do and remembering that Jesus did what he said he would do. He saved me. Therefore, my sin debt is settled. I think that gives us peace.
Yeah, I talked to the students about, getting into Matthew 11, and I think think it was. Did you mention Matthew 11 as well in there at all? That's the
Is that the
all your
the very end?
Yep. I was again. You get blurred between what I taught and what you taught because we're both teaching on
a lot of overlap.
A lot of peace, but just like the theme there, like come to you and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, learn from me, and just like that theme of rest, because he's lowly and humble at heart, and so like getting into that theme with the students. And I actually told them, I was like, guys, like if peace is something you struggle with and like you want, I was like, go read Gentle and Lowly.
Yeah.
I was like,
have you read it?
I have.
Yeah, so good.
And I was like,
so good.
I told him, I was like, I understand you're high schoolers. Like, I will go and buy you the book. Don't care. Like, it's just like there is nothing else like that. That book on peace, just again, it takes that Matthew 11, the last part 28 through 30 about. It just breaks it down into an entire book. And again, it's all about the rest, the peace that you can only find in the Lord, and just how important that is just for our souls, because again, our souls need that rest, or we're just going to constantly be going.
Oh yeah.
But again, Jesus is the one who's able to give us that rest that we need.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if Dane Ortland mentions this in the book, or if this was just a conversation I had with another person about the book. But, one of the common pictures in the Bible is that we are sheep, and, Jesus is the good shepherd, John 10. So thinking about sheep, sheep are stubborn, they're dumb, putting it PC for the airways. They're dumb, they're not intelligent, they're stubborn, they get lost all the time. Thinking about all these things, there's a song, Come Thou Fount. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. That's us. You know what I mean? We're prone to wander. We're tempted to forget. And I think that's why, again, I can't remember if this is in Gentle and Lowly or if it's just through conversation. That's why we need the gospel every day. Because we're prone to wander and we're tempted to forget because we're sheep.
Yeah. I'd be that one that they be chasing all the time.
You already are.
leave the 99 and where's Braden again?
There he is.
There he is. He's in the ditch.
Have you seen the video of the sheep that falls in the ditch and the shepherd guy gets him out and he like bounds and
jumps right back in?
Yeah, I don't have it pulled up or else we could show it. But no, it's like, that's totally me. It's so me in my walk with Jesus. So we talked about peace, and again, the hope through all that is just to remind each one of us here at Southgate, and also to hopefully encourage people that we know that regardless of what you're going through, you can have peace. The good times, the bad times, peace is available in the person of Jesus. This coming Wednesday, Christmas Eve, we're going to be, really bringing all of this home. We'll have our last Advent reading, and we'll light the Christ candle and then light all of our candles on Christmas Eve. We're going to be in Isaiah 60, 1 through 3, and then point us to John chapter 1. And John chapter 1 is a pretty familiar text for most of us. Some people say that Matthew and Luke are the only Gospels that talk about the birth of Jesus.
The Word became flesh.
Yeah, the Word became flesh, John 1. When did that's the incarnation.
Yeah.
So for those to say that John does not talk about the birth, he doesn't talk about it a lot, but it's definitely there.
So poor Mark.
That's right. Yeah. The one that everyone copied.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get another you asked for it question, and we're
on cue
and the marking and priority, and we're gonna be having to pull out my school notes and go back for
good night. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get back on track here. So John chapter 1, just thinking about this context of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. I think a natural question is, well, what's the Word? Because are we talking lower W word or capital W? And it's capital. So we think, what on earth does that mean? And then Braden, you mentioned it, verse 14, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, goes on, we observed his glory, the glory as the one and only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. Well, then we know that's Jesus. So John 1:1, the Word was with God, the Word was God. Well, that's Jesus was with God, and Jesus was God. So we see the Trinity in John chapter 1. And what that tells me is that Christmas is actually far older than Isaiah. It's far older than even Genesis. This goes back to eternity past, when Jesus was with God the Father, because Jesus is God. This was a part of the plan, before the foundation of the world was even laid. Fascinating that God had this plan, this Christmas plan, we could say, well before Christmas came to pass.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, again, they didn't start celebrating Christmas until a couple hundred years after Jesus. But, we see this theme here that shows us, from the beginning, again, starts out with in the beginning. And just in the beginning, Jesus. And you go, oh, well, there you go.
Well, which is kind of interesting because think of Genesis 1. In the beginning, God.
Yeah.
And here, John 1, in the beginning was the Word, Jesus. So again, for those who say, the early few centuries, there was a lot of battles about who is Jesus. Was he created? Arianism, is he lesser than God? Arius basically taught this doctrine that Jesus was the greatest created being. The famous expression was, there was when he was not. There was a point in time whenever Jesus didn't exist. But John 1 basically repeats Genesis 1 in the way it's worded. In the beginning, Jesus.
Yeah.
He's there. Fascinating. Well before Bethlehem, Jesus was on the scene, ruling and reigning. And Hebrews 1 says creating.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, no. It's so the parallels in the Bible make you just like the chart of all the cross references back and forth.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, who could have ever thought of that? Well, God. But what man could have ever went like, oh, these are all of the connections that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. But God.
Yep.
That's it. So this is where we're going to be at Christmas Eve, looking at Isaiah 60, this promise of God promises to send light. And then Genesis 1, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God, the Word became flesh. Light and life invaded the world whenever Jesus was born in Bethlehem. That's the hope we have at Christmas. So we're gonna discuss that, we're gonna reflect on that, we're gonna sing about that, and really that's going to propel us as a church into what God has in store next year in 2026.
Yeah. Go and light the candles.
That's right. Go light all the candles. We're ready to burn up and blow up. Hopefully, not too bad.
turn all the smoke alarms off. And
That's right. Who needs a fog machine?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. It's going to be an exciting evening, Christmas Eve night. Hope that you're able to join us. Again, if you're watching this whenever it comes out, hope to see y'all Christmas Eve evening. If you're catching this after the fact, hope to see you all on Sunday. And again, remember that you can submit questions to us via the app or the website. And we've actually had several that have been doing that. And lots on Revelation.
Yeah, we've got a list now.
We do have a list. And so one of these, at the beginning of the new year, we will probably just do like a Revelation specific thing. And that's going to be a long day.
Oh,
whenever that happens.
It's going to be a long week. Hopefully I can find peace throughout that week.
That's right. Keep your eyes on Jesus, my friend. Oh, man. So this is the last Advent. You asked for it until next year.
Yeah.
And we'll have a lot more of these episodes between now and then. So, Braden, this has been fun.
Yeah, it has been.
Yep. So hope that you all have enjoyed these. Hope, love, joy, and peace. And hope that you experience these things this Christmas season. God bless you guys, and hope you have a Merry, Merry Christmas.